Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat. So my son would say big brain time. Um, I did a digital with the doodles. You guys had great suggestions, like do a whole sheet of the watercolor paper like this, and then do all the doodles and sell the sheets. And that's a fantastic idea as well. But then I was like, oh, well, I could make the sheets and then do a digital. And then I was like, you know, when these are all on here, it's a little confusing because I try to jam as many as I can into a page, and then like the mushroom bottoms are separate from the tops and all that kind of stuff. So I thought it might be easier if I just made them, cut them out, and made a digital. And so instead of doing multiple packs of these, because it takes me hours to do one of the whole sheets, and I know this is just part, but an 8.5 by 11 sheet of watercolor paper, and all the doodling, it's hours. So instead of trying to do like little bags of them all done of each individual one, and I'll show you because I just kind of stuck them to paper to scan them into the computer, but they'll come off up here very easily. But instead of, you know, making a bag, say, of 1 page and having to charge, I don't even know, probably at least $15 or 20, or I don't even know, because it just takes me hours to do a whole page. So anyhow, I did some and I scanned them, and I did put a colored background back here just so that if you do, like, you know, you can see the holes. I didn't want to leave those white. So I did just do a real light sort of tan color behind them, and I would suggest printing them with some kind of border, because I did, like I said, try to pack the pages, and some of them are a little close to the edges and get chopped off if you don't do it with a border. So I would recommend a border. But there's 1 page, there's 3 pages. That's about all I could make it through. And I did do some single leaves like this just to, you know, kind of fill space, and also it's fun. Sometimes you just want a little one, right? So and you could, now that it's digital, this is the other awesome part about a digital, you can cut the leaves off if you want and use them separately and print it again and use the whole thing. So I don't know, this just seemed like a much better idea. So that is what I did, and there are 3 pages in the shop, and they're 40% off now too, which is also another fantastic thing for you guys. I want to say hugs and blessings to Nan and Denise. Thank you for your awesome comments, and just, you guys have followed me for a long time, and I so appreciate you. And I also want to say a super duper thanks to Kathy and Melvin and Sandy. You guys, thank you. I can't tell you how much it means to me that you're willing to give me a little tip here and there by hitting that thanks button, and you know, like I said, leaving a little tip. So that is awesome, and oh my gosh, thank you guys, because it so helps. Yeah, it's just amazing that you guys would do that. I just feel very humbled and grateful. So thank you. Okay, so what we are going to do today, as you'll see, I have junk galore. And I'll probably pause for a minute and cut out a couple of those leaves and things, but we're going to make some clusters out of, these are clearly scraps. And so I've cut some strips already, which we'll be using. In fact, maybe I'll just start with one of those just to show you what I'm kind of thinking. So I have seen on Pinterest and other places these sort of clusters, so I wouldn't say these are my idea. I mean, mine are obviously going to be different than theirs just because I have different items. But you know how a lot of times when you find old packaging or whatever, it's like a cardboard piece with just a hole punched in it that they would put on those little dowels in stores. I mean, we still do basically the same thing, but I wanted them to have a little bit more of that old look. So this is just some real heavy, I don't even know what the pound weight is on this cardstock because I've had it for quite some time, because it is just very thick. I mean, it is bordering on cardboard, and you could definitely use like a thin cardboard, but you can see it's pretty sturdy cardstock. So I don't use it for a lot of other things I make, but I was like, it's kind of perfect for this type of thing. So maybe a heavyweight cardstock, or like I said, you could definitely use a light cardboard like that you get in the back of paper packs. That type of thing would be good. What did I do with my, I think I left my ink somewhere. I mean, here's ink, but I'll just use this one. Oh, they're both here. Never mind. I'm losing my mind. So I hope you're all doing good. I am doing good, having a good day, and I thank you guys again for all your nice comments and support. I do so appreciate you guys. And then we're just going to take, because we're just making clusters today, because I have not done clusters in a very long time. And someone mentioned, when I asked what kind of things do you guys want to see made, someone mentioned clusters. So voila, I'm going to do it. And this is called use your scraps. Use whatever scraps you have. If you don't have like these, this is old vintage little tiny composition notebook that I had that had writing in it that I absolutely have loved to death. But if you don't have anything like that, just use new, newer lined paper and maybe coffee diet. You could even write some stuff on it. I did some of those type of things when I first started making junk journals. So just use whatever stuff you got laying around. Don't make it like, oh, I don't have those things, because you're not going to have the things that I have, and I don't have the things you have. That's just the way it works. But don't get caught up in the, I don't have any of the vintage stuff. Just use stuff you do have. Stamps and you can make on them or do whatever. And if you don't like the older grungy look, you can always obviously do it in a simpler look. Make your own stuff like this. This is just black acrylic paint. I'm gonna actually take this in. On what are those called? Manila envelope. So yeah, just grab some stuff, throw it down, see what you come up with. So anyway, like the ones I saw on Pinterest and stuff were on like corrugated cardboard and other types of cardboard. So you can definitely do that, because it is a cool look, and I do like that. But you just want all kinds of little bits and pieces of whatever. It doesn't even have to be anything specific. Like these, for example, are the little holes that you punch with your hole punch. And I don't have my little tiny glue, so I'm going to have to do that. It's downstairs because I was making those fall fodders. Hanging out with my hubby yesterday on the patio. It was lovely, and it was lovely this morning. It rained, which I do like in the summer, because here, I know other places it just adds humidity, but here it cools things off and feels so nice. And we got that this morning. It's starting to get hot now though, and it will get humid. It's just not the kind of humidity like a lot of you have going on by any stretch of the imagination. And the fun part about these, if you wanted to, you could add, and I was going to grab some and I just forgot, but like some ribbon or some torn fabric or whatever sticking out the top there. You could add buttons on these. I might do that because I have these old vintage type buttons. And you could run a stitch through them. Or like this one already has threads hanging out of it. It's kind of big. Kind of want a smallish one. But you can definitely add thread to them. This one has a little thread. See, like that would work. Oh yeah. Let me get some tacky glue. I do love my tacky glue. That's if it'll come out of my bottle. It's been a while. I haven't used tacky glue in a while. Oh, no, that one's done. Some of these were gifted to me, and so they're kind of, they need a little help. I mean, they were a wonderful gift because a lot of them did work beautifully, but some of them are stuck. Oh my goodness, my cat's in here with his stuffy up nose. He's such a goofball. Oh lordy. I need to wash all these. We're just going to take an old paintbrush and do it like that. And I'll plunk it in some water so that it will not get hard on there. So that's kind of a big sticking up sort of a thing. So you're going to be limited, obviously, of where you can put that one. But if you like using buttons, go for it because they're also fun and they do add some whimsy, I think, and interest, you know. So yeah, and then put some kind of cool torn fabric or something up there. I haven't done these in so long, I like almost don't know what to do here. So let's do one that's a tiny bit wider so that we can use one of the leaves or something from that fall fodder. And I've got my little, I really like ripping with the water because I just think it makes it way easier, and I also like the edge. I actually like that edge better. I wonder if no, it's just going to do the same thing. I think I'll have just one edge like that, and maybe I'll just tear the other one this away. This paper is a different paper than the last one I did. It's a little bit thinner, but it's almost fabric-y. I don't know. I have all kinds of different craft papers, and I don't know why they're all so different, but they are. Just depends where you get them, like what company makes the paper. And craft paper is the only one that I find with that many vast differences, so it's kind of crazy stuff. Let's use this. I do like the hole at the top, just because I think that adds to it. I don't know. You don't have to poke the hole if you don't like it. And I do like doing a little bend up by the hole, because doesn't it always seem like those little things had bends or whatever, wrinkles in them? Well, when we find them now, that's... I just remember being in my grandpa's barn, or even button cards, old button cards, kind of got like that too. But it just seemed like everything was always kind of beat up. I don't know. So I'll do this. This is just off of new lined paper. You know, just the perforated part that comes off. It's these writing pads like this up here. So if you get things like this, don't throw these away. I know, right? You're like, seriously, how much garbage can I keep? Well, let me tell you, you can keep a lot of garbage for this whole junk journaling project. I mean, that's sort of the idea. And the clusters that I saw that were made, you know, kind of like these, they did use, it looked to me basically like garbage, like packaging pieces, just bits and pieces though. It wasn't like whole big chunks of packaging or something like that. It was just bits and pieces, and I just thought that was pretty cool. So I decided that I was going to do my own little version. And then you could add just like one of these dots or something for some color. That's the fun part about something like this. And I think I'll do, cut out a couple of those leaves. So I'll be right back. Okay, I just did a few. I did the acorn here, this leaf, and this leaf. And this was one of the originals. So you can see there's not a huge difference. I mean, obviously you're going to get a little bit of the color variation or whatever. And I did do a watercolor background on these as far as the paper when I did them. So you can see the texture of that, which is a little bit different than the original because I used a smooth watercolor paper to paint them on. But yeah, I mean, I think they came out really nice. So I'm going to put a piece of book page on here as well. And oh, what do you use clusters for? Because I know that question will be asked. These truly are kind of a page decoration. You can also turn them into altered paper clips so that if you did want to put a tag with it, you could do that. And I'll show you in just a second what I'm talking about. But like these particular ones, if you had fabric or ribbon or something coming out the top, then if you put it at the top corner of your journal page, like pretend this is a page in my journal. If I put it up here, then the ribbon or the fabric or whatever you put on there is going to hang out. And this one's big enough that you actually could glue it on 2 sides or even 3 sides and have a little tag in there like that, or tucked up like that if you just did the 2 sides. So they're fun. And then like this one's a little bit smaller. You still could use it as a tuck if you wanted to. Like example again, glue on the 3 sides, and then if this was a tag, you could tuck a tag in there. I think it's kind of skinny to maybe do a tuck this way. You could try it. I just don't know if something would stay in there. But the real advantage is like you're going to have your threads or your fabric or whatever hanging out the top of your journal, which looks really cool if the pages have some sort of fabric hanging out the side or a tab or fabric out the top. So it's just all what you like, but they're definitely useful. I mean, it's not just decoration, especially if you turn it into a tuck spot or something like that. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put the acorn on this one, and I'm going to let it hang off a little bit over here because that's not going to hurt anything as a tuck or whatever. You're still going to be able to tuck something under there without any issues. So can definitely do that. I'm just thinking, do I want more punched holes? I think I just need at least one more. This is just leftover paper, which is a good thing to do with your leftover paper. I think I'll do a pink one. I mean, we can do a couple and see what looks good on there because we have all these, or all this, these. I like the yellow too. Maybe we'll do yellow on there. I know, it's kooky and crazy. But it's just fun and it adds, and people know, you know, somebody's going to know, oh, those are those hole punches. So, I don't know. It's just fun to use stuff that people are going to recognize and add some color. Maybe we will do one more on there. The red color, maybe. I'll just put it where that wrinkle is. It'll be fine. And then we're just going to put some glue on the back of our acorn, and I'm kind of just going to go leave that one part unglued, if you know what I mean, because it doesn't need it if it's hanging off like so. And you can add as much as you want. You could have more stuff hanging down, or like these would be kind of cool if I hadn't put them up the side, but I had them hanging off here. That would look neat. So there's loads of things you can do, but I just think they're fun. They just remind me of those old packaging things. I'm not really sure why, but they do. So I'm going to do more. It's fun. And of course, if you like shabby chic more, then totally decorate them. You know, you can use laces and put roses on them instead of like these type of things. So yeah, there's just a lot. Don't think, oh, well, I'm never going to make that kind, because that's not my style. But you can make this same type of thing in your style. This is some of that Stampin' Up! Cardstock. You guys probably all, is it crumb cake or I don't know, I can't remember, but It was one of the real popular colors they had for a while. I just can't remember what it's called. But anyhow, that's what it is. And you can do this and get them all, you know how they get those packaging things. They just get all messed up and janky. Okay, see, like this has a rose. You could put the rose and then something pink, whatever. So do them in your style. You don't have to do them the same way I'm doing them. I can't tell which is the front and back. I think that's the shiny side, so we're gonna put the glue on that side. And this is just tissue paper that I stamped myself, but you know, there's all the Tim Holtz and rice papers, all that stuff would work really well doing this. Let's get this on here as well as we can. And you can wrinkle it up and it looks good. I'm just going to go around the back because that's not going to hurt anything, having that hanging around the back, since it'll probably get glued on or whatever. You could also hang a charm or something out of that and use it in a different way. I mean, you don't have to glue them down. They could be more like things that hang, you know, off of something else. So you can do it however you want. Let's see here. I kind of like the idea of having these hang down, and those have words on them, so I think I'll do that. I can wrinkle this up a little bit too. So you can make them super grungy, not grungy, whatever. Oops, I put glue all the way down on that, those little perforations. That probably wasn't very smart. I'll just hang them off a little bit. And it doesn't need to be straight, it can be crooked. Once that glue dries, it's just gonna kind of harden those little perforations up, so I'm not real worried that I got glue all down on the bottom of them. It'll just sort of keep them stronger. And we can put a pink leaf even. And maybe a piece of lace. Do I have my lace out? Hold on just a minute. Okay, I'm back. It was right next to me. If it was a snake, it would have bit me, but hey, you know. This is just old fabric with teeny tiny roses. I love this kind of thing, and I wish I could make a paper like this, but every time I try, it just doesn't look right. I don't know why some things are so difficult that seem so simple. Maybe that's the thing. It's so simple that I just can't seem to get that look. Because I do love that sort of look. Like this one would look kind of pretty in my Bourbon Rose, you know, something like that. That Bourbon Rose digital download. It would look good in. I want to see those roses. That's really my only. Yeah, let's just put a piece of that too. Why not? Do all the things. I'll just put some glue down, and then I'm going to use a tiny attacher. Just because I want to. Where's my tiny nose? Right in front of my nose. Just like that. And that'll be good for that one. You can, like I said, add fabric, lace, whatever hanging out the top. But just little cluster. I kind of like little clusters. Let's see, what else? Do we have another bigger piece? This might work if we just tear it. Which way? Can't remember. So this is what to do with my Glowforge leftovers. turn it this way. You can also orient them differently. Like, oh my gosh, can't get a hold of it. It's so tiny. This way, like at the top corner of the page, you know, go in that direction. So maybe we'll try one that way, see what we come up with. That fits nicely across there, so let's just plunk that on. Just bend and squish it and wrinkle it, and then you get that sort of thing. We can still put one of these in it just because that's fun. That looks about right. If you don't want the hole in it, don't put the hole in it. Like, you can just make close, they don't have to have a hole. I just thought this was fun. So make it how you want it. These are the leftover. I don't think I want them hanging down that far though. Oops. But I like the color, that bit of color that adds. I'm gonna rough those up a little because I don't want to tear it more and lose more. That's just from cutting those leaves out of the cheap watercolor paper that I use. Oh, somebody was asking me about that too. That's just like kids watercolor paper that I got on Amazon that was inexpensive. But it works great for stuff that you want to add to journals, like the fodder, you know, because you don't want them to be as thick as regular watercolor paper. For one, they're a bugger to cut out, and two, it just doesn't need to be that thick. It just doesn't. So it's too much blue down there, huh? What else do I have? Do I have any other ones? Let me cut out another. Those leaves are fast. Actually, I'll just use one of the original ones. You guys get the idea that they're not that different, so you can I think I like the leaf on that side. We can add some of these dots. We need some other colors. Let's do another one of these reddish ones. Burgundy, whatever color that is. Maybe this right here. See what we got. Ooh, there's all the brown ones too. I kind of like that brighter one, even though it's different than the leaf. It's fine. Doesn't have to be the same. It's my son drinking out of his water bottle. If you were like, what is that noise? That's what it was. It's all the way across in the other room, but the sound carries. So yeah, don't know what got me going with the little dots today, but I think they're just cute and they add color, and that is always good, I feel like. So something just as simple as that. I just think that's really fun to put on the top of a page, and can't get any easier than these, you guys. So if you're just starting out, this is a great thing to do. Go find some different textured papers, trash or otherwise, you know, if you do keep some things, and put it together. because you can use any paper at all. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be fancy. If you really get thinking about packaging, you might find some really cool stuff to use. Could even use the Tim Holtz Tiny People, Tiny Paper Dolls on these would be cute. That's a lot of the same color. I need to put something else down first. I like the idea of a partial mushroom here. I really want to tear that apart is the problem. You could lay some foundation pieces down and then punch your hole. That way you could, you know, cover the whole thing a little bit more. But I kind of want to see parts of, you know, this top part. So, and I'm fine with pieces hanging over the edge, like I said before. I don't mind that. I also have, where is it? Sorry, just probably shook everything, but this thing's cool too. Let's see, what could we punch? Ooh, we could punch it in this. With the sparkly, it's a little gold down here. If you do something like that, that can even hang off of your page a little bit and it'll be fine because it probably won't hang out of your cover. So, and if it does and it gets a little more bent and beat up, then, you know, more power to it. I'm gonna ink the back too so that if it does hang over somewhere, it'll look like it's supposed to be like that. It isn't brand new. So I'm just going to hang it over a little bit, I think. So I'll just put glue along that one edge. And that's EK Success. I don't know what it's called because, of course, it doesn't say anything else. But wherever you can find EK Success, you can probably find it. I think I got mine on Amazon. Because that's the easiest place for me to find things. But I like that hanging off a little bit. And then I just want like a little piece of this. We can stamp a number on it. When you use the old vintagey paper, you hardly have to do anything to get it, you know, crinkled looking. It's so fragile, it just does that very simply. And like I said, if you don't want to use these leaves all over them, you don't have to. You can use anything you've got. It's just this is kind of what I have on my desk at the moment. So I'm using it. But you could put anything. Okay, there's that one. And I might just add a, where Where is it? If I had a brain, I'd be dangerous. Just because I like it. All right. And my fingers are yucky, so they're getting spots on that, but it's fine. Yeah. I think I want the Schedule D on here. I think I'll go all the way up to the top and then I'll punch the hole. Flip over our glue page here. And that is a stamp I got at a antique store, so unless you stumble across one, I don't know what to tell you. It's one of those things that I just found along the way. Oh, this piece is good. And that's from some old scrapbook paper. Don't know. It was some kind of stack and it had like library card stuff on it. But like I said, just use whatever you got that's hanging around with numbers or words or stamps, whatever. Speaking of stamps, I'm gonna grab. Number on there. Put it right in the glue. Good job. Okay, I'm going to grab a Tim Holtz tiny person. Hold on just a second.
Pasha, you should relax, Taco. Silly little Taco.
Just over there snoozing and snoring. Like he does. It's a little too big. These might even be too big. Oh, this guy might work. He's not too huge. Yeah, I like that. And we can punch our hole. I don't know what he's leaning on, but I don't think I'm going to worry about it a whole ton just because it fits there. Okay, let's punch our hole. I know that covers a lot of the background, but it's okay. You know what I can attempt to do. I don't know if I'll be able to make it work, but let's try it. If we get this little number 1 and we get all its edges, okay, I think that'll work. Just have to figure out where exactly. I can never pick those up off of the table. I'm sure you noticed that. Okay, we're gonna go with right about here, and I'm gonna hope that that works. And I'm rocking it so that I hopefully see, I want the box around it. I hope I didn't put it too low. Oh, his hand goes on it. Oh, darn. Well, I'm failing, you guys. I'm failing. Why, oh why? We're going to make this line. There we go. It's leaning on a line. How's that? It's a shelf or a, who knows? Who knows what it is? And I would normally put liquid glue on him, but it's downstairs. So I'm going to put this on and hope he stays. If he doesn't, he'll get glued back on at some point in time. Oh my gosh. I can make a mess like no other, I'm telling you. Yeesh. Get his little line for his arm. My fingers are so sticky. That's the one thing with doing little tiny things. It's almost worse for me making a mess than the great big things. These are a lifesaver for sure. That's just not going to come off. It's probably going to have to come off with some rubbing alcohol. All right. But he's leaning on his little shelf. But see, just something little like that is just really a lot of fun. So let's see, we'll do one more. Did I say one more last time? Probably. This is the last one. Okay, I think I'll go ahead and put this all the way on again and just glue it around the side. Some nice script. Always a good background. But yeah, pull out all your scraps. I just pulled out a few, but you could definitely go to town and make all different, really different ones that don't look the same. At all. Didn't do much bending or anything to that one. I'm going to just have the leaf hang off a little bit, because you might put one on the other side of the page, if you see what I mean, too. So, yeah, you would want to make them a little bit different. I think I'm going to put a piece of this orangey with the black marks. Yellow, orange, whatever this would be called. You could even use those little doodads that fall off of the, when you punch these. I mean, you can use anything, and it just adds little bits of interest. And I'm just going to hang them off a tiny bit, not a lot. And we can stamp another number on there. I know there's a 6 stamped on my leaf. Don't know what my thing is with numbers and all, but I do like them. I do like this stuff. Just use a little bit, maybe. I really should have my, I'm saying a lot, sorry. Small glue, my little bottle of glue, but. And then you could just crunch these up too and leave them instead of tearing it or cutting it off. Okay, I didn't increment. So yeah, now anybody can have the leaves and doesn't have to wait hours and hours for me to make little tiny bags of them for you guys. And they would be probably too expensive too, just because the time. So it works a lot better just to make one batch. All right. Looking for, I don't know what I want to stamp on there. I want to stamp something on there. This. Yeah. That's fun. And let's punch a hole. Like I said, doesn't have to. You could even do the tiny attacher and staple a little bit of fabric. That would also be another fun way to do them. So do it as you like it. So there's one. And our gentleman. And this leaf. So see, you can just make slews of them. You could go this direction is also fun. Our little sort of shabby one. I mean, you could probably do a better job if that's your style and you do that more often. Yay! So what did we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not bad. So yeah, I hope you guys try it. Use whatever you got. It doesn't have to be any old stuff. It can be new stuff. Ink it up and nobody will know the difference. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this and I will chat with you again tomorrow. Love you guys. Bye.